Thank you to all my patrons who supported me throughout my whole YouTube journey. Hey guys, I'm M.A.D.D.Y, and today we are here with Distractible with a new camera angle / quality. I'm currently recording on my tablet because what I learned is my tablet won't show the video aspect of Spotify. My phone has to do that, so yeah, the only way to see the video is on my phone on Spotify. That's the only way I can see the video. So that way you can see my reaction to the video, not just like listening to the actual recording. Is just doing this angle, and you can kind of see the building. You'll just see like the shaft of it. This is like the best angle I can come up with. I'm sorry, but I'm not that big of a YouTuber where I can have multi camera angles and like the best of circumstances. Plus it's kind of going back to the days when we were on the desk doing the extra large word search over here. So yeah, brings back to the good old days, you know. But yeah, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna try to sync myself up as best I can.
Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible.
Oh.
This week, Shut-in Rain has the it anyway, as he loves tail.
I can only do it on my phone. It can't produce on the Alexa, or it won't do it.
Wisdom on self-acceptance and a choice between being a bird or a bee. From cat in the hat dividum to flashing at intruders. Yes, it's time for good advice.
Good advice.
Sit back
Now that's some good
prepare to be
advice.
distracted and enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Welcome back.
Mark's
to Distractible.
different because he's filming a
Today's
movie.
host, Wade, and welcome to the show where I'm joined by two co-hosts. I get to decide the topic for the day. I assign points as I see fit. Whoever gets the most points ends up winning, hosts the next episode, yada, yada, yada. But most importantly, my co-hosts here, Mark and Bob. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hello.
Good day.
For the first time, people can see us enjoy us imbibing drinks.
Doesn't even look like I have any baby spit up on my shoulders, so feel pretty good today, you know?
Good
Do I look
job.
like I have a terrible pandemic virus?
You look about the
Yeah,
same.
actually, you look about the same.
You're the same.
Guys,
Are you worse today? Or?
Hey, where's
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm always kind of sickly and I always wear a robe to our recordings just in case. Well, it has a hood.
Yeah, well, it just looks like you're wearing a fleece hoodie, which is not that weird of a thing to wear. That's actually
Yeah,
pretty
it's
cool.
really cool.
Oh, that looks like a robe.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that
you
looks
can
like a
see
robe.
that part because you're sitting on it.
Yeah, and the people at home don't know what the norm is because there's only been like 2 other recordings that are video before this one.
One, I think. One.
One.
The second one.
That should be the
This is the second
second
one.
video.
This is the
Well,
second
okay.
one.
Well, they know what to expect, and they've got one video to base it on. We established in the first one. Tell me how you are, David. I'm gonna call you.
You okay, Wade?
I'm good. I'm in the throes of pre-production, but many cool things that I absolutely cannot talk about are occurring and are occupying.
Oh, wait, Mark, are you doing that? Right?
You know, I hope you weren't mouthing it because the video might, if people read your lips, I don't know what you were saying.
What I said was, are you doing that thing with the thing where you're at the thing? And is that part secret?
That might be. It might all be secret. Actually, I don't even know if I should tell people on it. Bleep it all!
Where are you?
Hope we're not live streaming. We're not live streaming, right? We're not.
No, we're not.
We're not.
Are we?
You're not.
No, I don't know.
I would know.
Check.
I just showed up because you guys promised me even more pay.
We're not. No, we're.
Who promised you?
Who probably
You
did
guys are giving me your salaries for like the next month, right?
Didn't?
Why?
Hey, you know what? One extra point to each of you for your financial generosity to me during this troubling time.
Hey, those boys are
Worth
worth
it.
more than gold. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
worth it. Mm-mm.
All right. But other than that, you know, very busy, very, very good. Oddly enough, Wade, you getting COVID has made me paranoid about it because if I get COVID during this film production, it's kind of going to ruin everything.
Be paranoid.
Be paranoid.
God, when you do look up at the camera like that, it does. I feel for you, and you do start to look sickly. So I'm sorry.
This is the best I've felt in like 3. Dude, I feel 100% compared to how I felt 2 days ago. There was a point I was sitting on the couch and I just like eyeballed Molly, and she was like, "Can I get you anything?" And I was like, "Oh." She's like, "Are you dying?" And I was like, "I wish."
Man. But this is where I kind of am starting to feel like you do have a severe nutritional deficiency because I feel like your immune system seems weak.
You mean eating 1.5 pounds of wings a day for sustenance is a balanced diet?
What?
I guess I can't talk about that. I'm still kind of doing that myself.
Protein is good for you when you have this. I looked it up.
Mm-hmm. So sunlight.
Yeah, but that's outside.
Yeah.
Wait. The 8 important what?
Important what?
What important things are
daily
there?
nutritionals, you know, like vitamin D, protein, vitamin.
Because I'm really
Other.
monitoring my nutritionals closely. Before I started this, I was only getting 2 of 8. That's 1/4.
There was only one section of nutritionals where I was like, none of that looks edible, so screw that. But the other ones, I cared a
Nutritionals.
lot.
What are you talking about?
They
You
are.
mean like food groups or something? Like, what are you talking about exactly? You know, beans,
I looked it up when I
greens,
was dying the other day, man.
stuff that grows underground.
Green beans, which is different.
It was like important things to make sure your body gets when you're battling COVID. And it was like,
What
vitamin C,
did
vitamin-
you get? A pamphlet when you got it? What are you talking about?
I Googled, man. I used my phone and I looked it up.
You Googled what? Nutrition, COVID nutritionals? What is nutritionals?
Well, it's a word I made up because I don't remember what I looked up. Can we go through my search history right now? I don't think you're out when I'm dead.
I don't think you remember what you looked up. I don't think you remember what you typed. I
COVID
don't think you remember what
nutritionals
stuff was.
at Walmart is the autocomplete I get when I Google that.
You know what? That point you both got, I'm taking it away.
Apparently, there's a Walmart brand called Best Nutritionals LLC. That's not a made-up word, Wade, because there's a company of it.
nutritionals. In fact, I'm winning right now with 1 point for my nutritional research.
Great. Man, that's
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
it's good to know you're doing so well, buddy. That's all I'll say about that.
Always been better.
But, keep up with that 8 vitamin multivitamin, only 8 basic groups.
Shut up. I have a minor fever right now. It's low. It was up to like 103, 104. It's like 99 or something right now. It's not bad. And this is definitely like bad cold right now. But I will say, at its worst, this is top 3 worst things I've dealt with. Even being like vaxxed and boosted and everything. I can't imagine how
How's it
bad it
compared to
was.
your nut pain when we were on tour? That seemed like it was pretty rough for you.
The uvula was awful. Because it was like 16 straight hours of misery.
I still don't understand what that was.
It actually swelled up again slightly for this. Whenever I was at the urgent care and I got diagnosed with COVID, the doctor, she's like, yeah, your uvula looks slightly swollen. I was like, please prescribe me steroids. She did. I looked at her like dead serious. I was like, I can't go through it again.
Quite a bold proclamation.
At least 2 of your worst health incidents in your life have been in the last month.
Dude, I know.
Or 2 months? However long that was.
Both events occurred within like 3 days of my scheduled shoulder surgery. They still haven't gotten to have. I feel like this is divine intervention to stop me from getting this surgery.
Or it's a combination of the same root cause. Well, not that COVID is, but maybe nutritionals are at play.
Traveling, leaving my house. Both times I've left my house, bad things have happened to me. I need to stay home.
I started getting, just making sure I was getting 15 minutes of sun, which I haven't been doing since I've been over here, and that's why my sleep's getting worse. But my sleep gets better, I feel better, my mood is better. Just getting 15 minutes of sun, direct sunlight, getting out.
Fully nude direct sunlight?
It doesn't even have to be nude.
It doesn't have to be
I
nude.
am, but you don't have to.
You don't have to be
Yeah,
nude. It's
Butthole
optional.
up or-
No, butthole down. I feel like I put a reflective card underneath myself, and I get it like the reflection. I don't want direct on my butt.
Yeah.
You got one of those squatty, I can't think of a rhyming word. Squatty Body studies.
Squatty Sundays?
Nutritional.
Keep going, yeah.
It's actually marketed as Where It Don't Shine. But
he landed it.
So you forget a word, it's okay. I forget a word, it's a whole stampede.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sick, so
I should get more
cooler than
excuses.
you.
One, I love pity.
I'm cool because I've got an immune system. It must be because I get all my nutritionals.
I got tons of exercise. I was eating a variety of foods and healthy foods. And we were down in Orlando walking around like some of the different Disney parks. And that's when I got the uvula thing, was after all that. And I got lots of steps, lots of sunlight, all of that. And then I was also getting sunlight and out and about whenever I got back ended up with COVID. I think it's just a bad time of year to be out and about.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in a crowd of thousands of people, that'll do it. But also, I want to point out 1 or 2 days of doing such healthy things won't have a long-term effect. We need to.
How about 4?
I seen the sun once. I waved right up at him, and I was like, I'm going inside.
Do you get outside?
I have the last couple months till this week.
You're drunk? What happened to you?
I'm here for you. And you, all of you. Hey, friends.
I love you, buddy.
Whatever, it's time to get to the show. You all are here because I'm the best host. The pressure has never been higher. But even at my worst, I've come up with the best. We've got a great show in store for you all.
Like the last episode you hosted?
I don't remember it, so maybe it was good. What was
It's
it?
the one we almost called Wade's worst piece of shit episode ever. You don't remember?
Nope, I'm blocking it out. Don't want to remember. We're moving
Okay. Well, it was great. It's perfect. You nailed it.
Everybody gets a mulligan. What the hell's a newligan?
Newligan, boys, kick it in. Newligan,
That
boys.
was mine. Today, we're going to talk about, as we've done before when I've hosted, I've got several different light-hearted discussions to be had, and I'll be assigning points based on the flip of a coin.
Alright, so what holiday's coming up? Clearly there's a secret word that we need to discover and say repeatedly.
Oh no!
Aggressively as possible, Mark. Everybody loves that when we do that.
I actually do. It's very, very funny.
I'm going to tell you, I've actually already pre-flipped the coins for all of my topics. At the end of the episode, I'm going to tell you what the coin flips were, so that way at the head of each one, you can tell people whatever, you can show them however you want to do it. Just so you guys know, a heads on the coin flip means that if you give me bad advice on these topics, you get a point. A tails means that if you give me good advice, you get a point.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you guys a
How
topic.
can tails be bad advice?
I don't know, based on a coin flip.
Maybe bad advice is a success because it's funny.
You know the saying, heads never sheds, tails always fails. So,
I feel like...
What?
heads is bad advice, tails is good advice. I'm the host. If you host, you can make it the other way.
Sorry.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Well, I don't care. I don't feel good. I'm doing it my way, damn it.
You should get your 8 nutritionals. Is that good?
Yeah, how many out of 8 have you had today so far?
Fuck you, that's how many.
Well, you really got to determine, you got to take in what we say and then define it as good or bad, because it might be, I don't know, maybe it's your criteria what's good or bad advice, and then flip the coin.
On our topics, I have a feeling that they're going to go one of a couple ways. And you guys can give the same type of advice, different bad advices. You can give both good advice. You can flip-flop, whatever you want to do. I don't care. But whoever has the most points at the end wins. Our first topic. We're going to start off something relatively easy, something relatively chill, something people are curious about. How do you deal with motivation and procrastination?
Who goes first?
What?
Yeah, how do we decide who goes first?
Who goes first?
Sure, coin flip. I'll flip a coin for this.
Okay.
Who's calling it?
Call it in the air, and we're the opposite of the thing that lands, of what we call. Okay?
Alright, I don't have a coin. I'm just using Google coin flip. But here, let's go.
Learn by watching.
Tails!
It's in the air. Slow. It's tails.
So it's not tails, it's heads. Take that, Bob.
Yeah, Bob, you get to go first.
So I get to go first. Does that dictate what kind of advice I can give, or am I
You give whatever you want.
So the question posed is, how do you tackle procrastination and motivational issues.
Yep, and it's already predetermined whether you get a point for good or bad advice. So you just get to guess, and then I'll tell you both at the end who gets the point, or both of you, or none of you.
I didn't even really have to think about this one, because I already have an excellent system for dealing with this. And I have a name for my system as well. It's called, fuck it. And the key really is, you have to embrace the reality of who you are as a person. Not that funny, Wade. Calm down. Oh, he's coughing. Okay.
He's coughing. He's not laughing.
Too bad our fancy recording setup doesn't have some kind of cough mute button.
You're the host. Fucking talk.
I couldn't tell if you were pass out or yell at me. But anyway, the fuck it system is you have to embrace the reality and the truth of who you are. I am a lazy person. I've spent my entire life trying all the systems that everyone online and in books has to recommend to get rid of procrastination and become more organized. Writing physical lists, writing lists on walls or on the refrigerator where you can see it, scheduling things, breaking it down to the minute, scheduling every moment of every day and then trying to follow that. Every version of any productivity thing, stacks of index cards, project management systems where you have post-it notes and you're organizing them by like, gotta do now, can do some point, can do later, all of that shit. You know what the problem is?
What?
The exact same reason that I'm always doing stuff at the last possible moment, that I'm always procrastinating as long as physically possible, and that I always feel like I'm disorganized and behind on everything in life, is the same reason I can't follow those dumb fucking systems. I spend 2 days making a whole thing, like, I'll design this template, and I'll have this list, and if I don't open the list and look at it, it doesn't matter what the fuck I wrote on it, does it? So the way to live with your life, if you're a procrastinator, if you have trouble with keeping organized and staying motivated, is to embrace who you are. To embrace that you will always be that person who at the last minute is like, oh, that's due today, and then you scramble to get that shit done. You scramble to hide away your mess because you forgot you were having someone coming over today and you're a slob. You scramble last second to do the laundry that you needed because you forgot you had to wear a suit for this event you're going to, whatever. Whatever it is, embrace that. Life's going to be chaotic. Sorry, kids. Sometimes you're going to mess up. Sometimes you're going to have to wear dirty clothes. It happens. That's who you are. That's who I am. I've come to peace with it. People might judge me, but I feel pretty good about the fact that I don't put a lot of pressure on myself to change that part of me. I just embrace it and I love it. I am who I am. And that means that sometimes you have to pay late fees if you forget to pay a bill. Thank God for online auto-scheduling bill payments. Jesus Christ.
I have been there.
That's my advice. You are who you is who you am. And if you're a procrastinator, that shit ain't going away. I'm sorry, friend.
This is where it's like the criteria is like, it could be good advice and bad advice, depending on...
I mean, it really depends what outcome you want. If you want to feel better about your life, I think I gave great advice. If you want to not do that anymore, I don't think my advice is very helpful.
I think that qualifies as good advice because you're telling people, not everybody's going to get away from it. I think there's you can tell differing good advice, right? You can give people good advice that's different. Bad advice, I feel like would be telling people the opposite of like if you're a procrastinator and it works for you, then it works for you. That's not necessarily bad advice.
Well, that's kind of the thing. It doesn't really work sometimes. You're really fucked, but what are you gonna do?
I struggle with motivation all the time. I get a lot done, but I still just same as everyone else have ADHD. Well, not everyone has ADHD. Whatever. You know what I mean.
I put my million YouTube plaque on the wall one leg at a time, like everyone else.
Me too. I do that too, just like everybody.
It better if it's got to fall down every night. Well, so I found that the one piece, the most practical change that I've done that people at home could do literally tomorrow, is that I'm a big believer in the first thing you do in the morning will set the tone for the entirety of your day. If you start off your day by picking up your phone and looking at it, that will set the tone for the rest of your day. I've always noticed how when I wake up in the morning that there's this kind of clarity of mind. Even like the like if you close your eyes and like the colors of your neurons firing, washing over your eyes, it's different. Like the patterns are different. So by setting your tone with intention, like I talked about in my perfect day, that it went slightly poopy and slightly awry, and
That one was a perfect day.
I mean, like, I had a great plan for the perfect day, and we got all sidetracked by the boats. But
yeah, right.
The boats made the. I'm the host, and I said the dates made the boats, and the boats made the dates.
But either way, like starting off and actually like, this is not for everybody because it's like whatever if you want to do it. But I do find that if not meditation, sitting and thinking about the intention that you want to do, you don't have to do it. But thinking about it is important in terms of putting yourself in the perspective of, okay, I want to do this thing. And your brain will naturally like puzzle solve and be like, how do I do this thing? And you'll go, oh yeah, I remember I did think through this. Because a lot of the motivational struggles is forgetting about why you wanted to do something in the first place. So I think that like avoiding the same kind of routines and loops that get you trapped. I'm not saying never look at your phone. That's unrealistic. But at least first thing in the morning, it's like trying to beat a little mini addiction. You're not pushing away forever, but you're trying to make at least like 15 minutes in the morning peaceful and sacred so that you can actually remember what you needed to do that day. And if that day's a rest day, then you just need to remind yourself of that. I find it very relaxing. I don't do it every day either because it's kind of hard to establish that pattern of things to do, but it does help a lot with motivation because it allows you time to remember why.
I actually really like that advice, and I'm already in my mind, I'm like, I should try that. I'm sure it'll work, unlike every other thing I've ever tried. But I'm curious, oh no, I have a sneeze. Oh god, I have a sneeze coming.
Oh, maybe you should get some fucking sunlight. Try eating a vegetable, bitch.
Oh, it burns. Hey, I get sunlight because I have to walk outside to get to my office. No, what you're saying makes me wonder though, how, because it seems like when you wake up, you're like, I'm awake. When I wake up in the morning, like my alarm goes off, I snooze it like 5 times or whatever, and when I actually wake up and I'm like, okay, I have 5 minutes where I have to be at the recording with the guys. I should move. And like the first hour of my conscious, like awakeness, I don't even remember. I wake up like I was in a medically induced coma, and I don't remember what happened for the last month of my life. Is that not common? Do I sleep wrong?
I don't get that, but then again, I have spent a long time setting a very specific wake-up time. I wake up at like 6 a.m. no matter what time zone I'm in. It takes me a few days to adjust, obviously, if I'm traveling, but I've been doing that for almost like 7 years now, so I get
That's
up.
tiring.
My body is like used to that, and it took a lot of discipline to be like, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, I'm waking up at 6. So I got used to that. But even before that, I don't think it was like that.
I mean, maybe I'm just a really unhealthy person.
You mean both, Bob?
Whatever.
I mean, I imagine the baby
like,
also, but is that even before the baby?
So the baby thing, Mandy, the way we're doing it right now, I stay up late mostly, and then Mandy sort of gets up in the middle of the night early, but really she gets up like 3 or 4. Usually we sort of swap off. So I do get to sleep into the morning. So I don't get as much sleep as I used to, but I still like wake up in the morning, not because the baby's screaming and I have to, but because it's like I just get to wake up when I still do that. This morning I had an alarm set for 10. I remember waking up at like 10:15 or 10:20, having no memory of having snoozed my alarm 2 or 3 times, waking up to my alarm, looking at me like, how is it 10:20? I set you for 10. What? And then sitting in bed, like sitting on the edge of the bed for a minute, literally just being like, Sunday? Is it Sunday today? Fuck. And looking at my phone and be like, what day is it? When is it? What's happening? I was barely even alive for a while this morning. I'm okay now. I've been awake for a couple hours, but like that's how it is every time I wake up almost. It feels like I don't know what's happening. I don't know what day of the week it is. I got beat up last night, and then I just passed out, and now I'm like awake, and I'm like, what the fuck's
I'm
going
sorry,
on?
Bob. If I just ate
What
those
happened?
vegetables, I'm sure you'd be better. This is
Man,
my
I get
fault.
all 8 of my nutritionals.
I know, this is my fault.
Look, I do think that like there are certain supplements that you can take that help us sleep. I found magnesium is actually an under nutritionalized.
We're not here to help with Bob's sleep. You guys get 0 points.
I appreciate it.
What? We haven't even flipped our coin.
Yeah, wait,
I did. I flipped it ahead of time. They're all pre-flipped.
So did we both give good advice? Is that what
We
you're
both gave good
qualifying
advice, and it was a heads, so I wanted bad advice for that one.
Well, I don't think Bob's was good advice.
Well, you know,
I
it's
just kinda
good
wanna-
advice for the quality of life. It's not good advice necessarily.
It was
for,
good advice to
other
me.
goals, but
Look, I live that life. I'm a procrastinator, and I perform better as one. I've told this story, I think, before here. I've definitely told it before on stream. In high school, I remember in AP English, I put like 3 or 4 weeks of effort into like the first English paper I wrote, and I was very proud of it. I got a C- on it, and I was like, I'm an A student. If I'm going to put this much effort in and get this, ain't worth it. Fuck it, I'm going back to last minute. Whatever I get, I get. Every other paper the rest of the year, A. Doing it the day before, 0 revision, like I didn't look it over. Done, spell check, done. Turn it in, A. I work better in crunch time. I don't know. And so it worked for me, and that was like the last time I ever tried doing things ahead of time. I was like, everything else, fuck it, last minute. Why? Because that one time I proved to myself I work better last minute.
I love that story so much more if you don't learn the wrong lesson by succeeding with minimal effort and maximum procrastination. I just love the idea that you worked for 3 weeks on a paper and you turn it in, and then the teacher's like, C-, and you're like, I'm an A student. And then the next time you do the procrastination thing, you turn it in, the teacher's like, C-, and you're like, I am an A student! Everyone else here must be a fucking genius! Because that was an A paper!
I just wasn't going to put that much effort into, like, to me a C was failing. So, like, to put that much effort into get a C, I was like,
I do get what you're saying, but there are things in the human experience beyond essays and school in general.
I'm here as one of the 3 hosts of Distractible with my horrible life choices, so I think I've done okay.
But I'm just saying, for those
see
out there
this
that
robe?
like, okay, you have the problem is when you run into tasks that don't take a day to do. That's where it all breaks down.
I have a
And,
strategy for that.
and-
It's a 2-word strategy. It's called uh-oh.
See, if I show up to set and I'm going with the uh-oh method, there's going to be a lot more chaining uh-ohs down the road because no one knows what's going on.
Well, it doesn't work for literally everything, right? Like,
It works for
if you're trying
school.
to memorize vocab words, you can't literally memorize it. Like, those you have to kind of do a little bit longer every time. Think back to school. There were things you had to, like, pace out a little bit. But there were definitely things where it's like, okay, I'm going to write this paper. I'm going to get someone else to read it. I'm going to read it, go over it, see what changes, make sure I didn't screw up or say something wrong. Like, that always made my work worse whenever I went over it a second time, and I don't know why. Every paper I ever wrote, if I went over it again and I made changes, they were always worse. Thinking weighed much worse than not thinking weighed.
Your subconscious is a much superior weight than the
It
one
is.
that we're seeing right now.
It gets all the nutritionals. None are saved for the conscious me.
All right, well, fair enough. No points. I get it.
Well, the coin decided. You both could have been rich in points, but the coin
You
was against
decided. You could have said my advice was bad because you love boats. You're like, screw starting off the morning with all that bullshit.
Oh, don't worry. I took away points from you guys already.
Mark's advice is stupid because I would just wake up every day and be like, boats. And that would lead me down a bad path.
And I want to be on a boat so bad. Anyway.
See, my advice isn't.
I get seasick very easily, so I can't be on a boat.
Our next topic, I had a few here, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit, just based on time. We got time for probably like 3 more, right?
I'll keep my advice shorter from now on.
Our next advice here is going to be advice to someone asking you, in general, tell them about the birds and the bees.
Birds and the bees.
Birds and the...
Sex.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I'd say nope.
Nope. Not...
I was trying to think of bad advice.
You can give bad advice, but don't give
No, I don't
horrible advice.
Give good advice, Mark.
Give
What's
good
your
advice.
sex advice?
Good sex advice.
Don't tell them. Don't my dad's method was, which was, well, actually, no, the worst way to learn about sex is to find a strange VHS in the backyard, as I've talked about on this podcast before, and then try to, through numerous methods, to
look at the tape.
By shining a flashlight through it. Yeah, that's probably the worst way, because then like the natural progression was I discovered porn way too early. So that's, I can't, if I'm qualifying it, then I'm not submitting it as bad advice. My advice is bury as many VHS tapes of random pornography everywhere, as far and wide as possible, so that everyone can discover it in due time when they are destined to find it.
When a young lad starts to feel the horny, he knows he needs to dig it.
Give him this treasure map.
He gets the instinct. He just starts looking for X's on the ground, and he'll find it. If you leave enough tapes around, he'll find it.
You give him a condom, some lube, a pickaxe, and a treasure map, and you send him on his way to find his VHS tape. It's out there somewhere.
Does that teach you everything you need to know? You watch the tape once, and you're like, where are the women?
Yeah, because, I mean, this is the equivalent, but just like, I don't know what the good advice is, because my dad actually gave me a book that was like, you know, flip open, like, what's sex about? I think I talked about this before. And, like, that just had so many more questions to it than when he gave me that. I already knew what pornography was, like, for years prior to that. And I had so many questions from that. And then this book answered none of them. And so it was just like, I was just swirling with confusion, like, I don't know anything. So, yeah, those are my bad advice submissions. Or good, depending on what the coin flip is.
Oh, trying to play both sides. I'll take all your points.
Well, I'm disappointed, because I thought you were going to give good advice, and so I spent the whole time imagining up my bad advice. But maybe this is good advice.
You could give bad.
If it was just some random person, I'm working at UDF, and some random person walks in and recognizes that I am a sexual genius because I'm obviously working the counter at UDF, as you experienced with, my advice would be to answer that sort of question metaphorically and or in the form of a riddle or a rhyme, because then the person can get whatever they need from it, right? If they really, first of all, if that happened to me, I would probably be like, I'm not going to engage. I'm going to pass on this conversation. But if they really push the issue, I would do something, I would go into something like, all right, you want to know the truth? You want me to teach you? You have to ask yourself one question.
Okay.
Do you want to be a bird or a bee? Birds are lightweight, big wings, wide, glidey. They swoop around, they come, they go, they keep a nest. It's nice, it's warm, it's comfortable, it's inviting. Or do you want to be a bee? Fly, you dart around, back and forth, all over the place. You dance to communicate. You got a stinger down there, but you die if you use it. You live in a hive with hundreds, thousands of other bees. You all just crawl all over each other all the time. Bees constantly going out, finding a new flower, dipping in the booty, bringing that juice home to the hive, sharing it with the other bees. Do you want to be a bird or a bee? And that's as specific as I would get. And they'd be like, what is this? Is the stinger a penis? They're like, it's a stinger. You're a bee. Answer me. And then, either you scare them away, or they would find whatever truth they needed to find inside of that, and you wouldn't have to explain anything real about sex stuff to them. Because I don't want to have that conversation with basically anyone who exists, let alone a stranger, theoretically.
Yeah, it sucks.
I love when you said real right, because I imagine just like you call someone up from the back of the UDF and it's like, so you want to know about sex? Well, one of us speaks in riddles and
one of us speaks in rhymes.
I knew it was coming.
Asking you a question. We'll give you our time.
Answer our riddles 3 and we will answer your question 1.
Is your penis too slight? Is it covered in blight? Did you put on a condom? Because you're gonna want them. Yeah, no, that's rhymes and riddles would probably also suffice to either end the conversation quickly or completely scare the person off from ever entering that place again.
I like the idea of like they're like you're like, well, I'll answer your question, but you have to answer a riddle. They're like, okay, and you take like a mop, you like flip it over and like put the mop over your head to become like your hair, and you hunch over and you start like doing a little dance as you tell the riddle, and then they still play along.
Oh, I thought the question was gonna be, are you attracted? You put the mop over your head.
Do you want to fuck with me?
Not like that. Not like that. No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't think that. I think that's bad advice.
Wait, do you do that in the mirror at home? Do you put a mop over your hair? Just like, do you want to fuck me?
I'm like Buffalo Bill, but instead of wearing people's skin, they're just wearing wigs. I'm like, I'd fuck me.
No, hop around, squat down.
I forget what the song is that plays the Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, I play that music because I hop around and they'd fuck me. So I shouldn't do that.
Alright.
Well, good work, boys. You both gave shit advice, and I flipped another head, so you both get a point. Congrats.
Yes!
Yes! Now we're all three tied at 1. Congratulations, you made it to the big time.
All three of us.
What? Why do you have one?
I gave myself a point a long time ago. I don't remember why at this point, but read the subreddit. They'll tell us. I took a point away from you all, and I gave one to me because you all said something. It's probably the nutritionals.
Well, you said nutritionals.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
word.
that's your thing.
Yeah, those
I like it. The more you know, word of the day, nutritionals.
Nutritionals.
If it doesn't
You're gonna
exist, it does now.
Will do video effects now.
Not my problem.
It's not my problem.
Confetti, party lights, disco ball. Come on, Will.
If he feels pressure to, that's on him, because he can equally just make me look like an asshole and put nothing. Like, look. Yeah, there says asshole with sparklers and fireworks going off, or nothing happened and I look like an asshole anyway. Either way, I win.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
But can Will resist the power of editing? I'd say yes, he can.
You probably
Next
can.
advice.
Next advice.
Good or bad is up to thee. So now, tell me, stealing candy from a baby.
How to?
How to do it, or
Yeah, whether you
Good or bad advice
should or...
on how to do it.
on how to do it.
Approach it however you would like to.
Babies are really susceptible to punches. I feel like their grip strength is real low. I feel like, honestly, pushing the carriage over. You see, this is good advice because this all works. You can't say
It would
it's
be very
bad.
effective. It would be very effective.
It's very effective. There's numerous strategies. You could trick it like Indiana Jones style. You could replace it with something and it would never know. Why does that baby have candy anyway? Shouldn't give sugar that early or that quantity. Baby shouldn't have candy. You're doing the right thing by taking it away. This is still good advice. Diseases.
I'm sorry, what?
Diseases?
You're gonna give the baby
Diseases?
I never said that. I just said the word.
What's the implication?
What's the
There is no implication. Maybe.
Well, you heard it here
We're
first.
gonna have to check with legal on this one before we publish this episode. Do we need to disclaim that no, you should not give babies diseases?
Should I never said that. I never said
I'm not saying that you said that. I'm just saying, as a general statement, Distractible, the podcast, and also us people, do not condone or encourage giving diseases
no.
to children under the age of 5.
Saying that. I'm saying
Age
a
of
sick
5.
child is easier to take candy from. So pick on the weak ones like you get.
So go to the hospital, and there's lots of
Yes,
really
yeah.
Oh, I see.
The premature babies that have candy, you could take it right from them.
Or right outside, like, the doctor's office or dentist office. Like, when they go in, they're good, and they come out and they get, like, their little candy on the way out. They've already been through a lot that day, so, yeah, they're probably easier to take right from the source.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Plus, they're so upset, they start screaming, crying right away. The parents are completely distracted.
Completely.
Yeah.
Easy.
Bob,
Easy peasy.
your advice.
Well, I would say that most people probably approach this tough problem, this tough situation, tough heist, if you will,
Tough
from
heist?
the wrong perspective. Defeating the baby is
Last bag.
child's play, really. Babies are defenseless. Like Mark was saying, they can't do anything. They don't know. But the real problem is they have a guardian. with them. That's the issue. If you can just run right up to a baby and get right past the guardian and have access, then mark strategies all work pretty well, I guess. But the real thing is you need to defeat the adult who is legally responsible and in charge of the baby. It could be a parent, it could be a nanny or a daycare person, whatever. I will say, if you're looking for volume heist of candy from babies, if you can find a good understaffed daycare, like 20 to 30 kids per, teacher, staff member, whatever.
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
just a really ripe room.
Yeah.
If you can impersonate staff at the building or whatever, or if you just create a situation where you distract the adult and they have to leave the room, and maybe even they look at you on the way out and they're like, just watch the kids, they're doing finger painting for a minute, I'll be right back. Like you come in and you're like, the white Hyundai Sonata in the parking lot appears to be on fire. All teachers and daycare staff members drive Hyundai Sonatas, just so you know. Hot tip there.
Got it.
They'll go running out of the room and you'll have access. If you do this during snack time, boom. Anything your heart desires. Plus, you can probably get access to the bowl or whatever from which they came. It's just it's a way more easy, professional, manageable way to go about this. You don't want to be the baby candy pickpocket. You want to be the baby candy mastermind. And so it's about picking the target, and then it's about understanding how to effectively distract and or disable. I'm not condoning any violence, but you know what I'm saying. The adult human who's in charge of those babies, so that you have full access. And once the human's disabled, Narc was right. You do whatever you want. Babies are defenseless. I have one. I know firsthand how they don't pay attention. Can't hold on to stuff. Can't hold his head up yet.
Nope.
No problem. So that's the real key right there. Focus on the adult first.
Well, I was willing to give bonus points to anybody who said don't do it, because in case it was tails, so good advice. And the best advice would be don't take candy from a baby. However, you both have described methods to successfully take candy from a baby, so I have to give you both a point.
Theoretically, just to advocate for myself a little bit, I said that you should not take candy from a baby because that's a waste of time.
That's a technicality.
Technicality.
You should take candy from as many babies at a time as possible.
You know what?
Taking candy from a baby is a complete waste and not a good way to use your resources.
That's fair, but it's out of my hands, so we'll leave it up to a coin flip, Bob.
I feel like it's exclusively in your hands.
Let's see.
How do I win? Do I call it heads?
It's tails.
I don't even believe you, but that's fine.
Which opposites were the thing earlier, so you get a point. So
Wait, no, we didn't call it the opposites.
you called opposites earlier. So.
I called opsies in my head.
Oh,
I like how
alright,
Bob
fine.
doesn't trust me at all until it plays out in his favor, then he just goes with it.
I just don't ever trust you.
It's rigged unless I win, obviously. That's how you
Right,
win
of course.
stuff.
Of course, all right. Who's winning?
There's your tails.
I don't know.
Well, you
What in the hell? Oh, you took a picture. I was like,
Oh,
what the hell
right.
kind of sideways website?
I took a picture. I just had to zoom in to hide my snot rags.
Look, I know we have this discussion about your technological prowess pretty frequently on the show, but you can share your screen
Right.
to this. We're recording this on video now.
I appreciate
If you're not
your
seeing
offer.
video, it's available on Spotify, so you should check that out. But you could share your screen and literally show us when you flip a coin or whatever, what have you.
Well, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll do that moving forward.
we can think up some cool ideas with it.
But for now, we're living in my archaic ways.
All right, fair enough.
Well, it's technological enough that you don't actually have a coin to flip, but not high tech enough that you could do anything other than flip the non-existent coin and then tell us the answer. I love that. I love that for us.
All right, next topic here. We have two more. This one, I'm excited for. Good
Yeah.
or bad advice is up to you, but the point is up to the gods. That or gravity and physics. Because of coin flip.
It's not a real coin.
It's not.
So it depends on the definition of. Listen, we're not going to get into the philosophy of real versus not real right now. I don't have the time for that.
It's not philosophical. It's not real. What do you think? Google has a warehouse house somewhere with millions of quarters waiting to be
Does it
flipped?
have to be physical to be... Look, we're not getting into this. We don't have time. Just tell me.
Even if you boil it down to its data, the electrical impulses aren't a coin either.
I'm going to boil you down to your data. Now, give me good or bad advice. Here's my sick-ass roof over here.
That's a classic wave.
Your mom will be all like, what when I'm done with you? Now, here we go.
What?
Good or bad advice on defeating the monster under your bed?
There's no monster under your bed.
It's there.
No, it's
I
not.
went first last time.
You went first 2 times in a row. I was going to go first last time, but that's fine. I'll go this time. I'm ready. Got good advice for this. Well, you know what? I can say this because I am one now. You know who defeats the monster under your bed?
Who?
Wait a minute, I just thought all the way through what I was about to say. I have to say it now, but it feels bad. Your dad does. You know, when you're a young person and
Tell us
you
about
think
that.
there's a monster under your bed, and then you just yell for your daddy. Dad comes and looks, and then he defeats the monster because it's not there, and he knows that because it's just your dad. You guys know how that is, right?
Well, that explains why we still have one, I guess. The monster, that is, not Dad.
Alright, I'll give you some advice. What I want to do so alternatively to that, if there's some issue with having one of those things I was talking about or whatever, you just have the lights off your bed. And if that stupid fucker wants to spawn in under your bed, trapped. No access to the outside world. I actually had a bed like that when I was a kid. It had drawers under it. And so there was you couldn't get under it. It sat on the floor. It was like a dresser with like a mattress platform on top of it. I probably had a monster under my bed. That dumb piece of shit was trapped under there for his entire existence. Take that, loser.
God, that's not my idea, but it's just like, that just makes me think of if, you know, where you set a box with a piece of candy on it and a stick and a string? You set a bed up like at an incline, dangle a fake hand over the and have a stick there so when it grabs it, pulls the stick and it goes, like crushes the monster, dead. That's my advice, final answer, that's what I said to do. Or is that stealing your...
No, I like that. That's much more specific. You don't just have to have the bed. It's a whole thing. It's a real it's an active strategy, you know?
Yeah.
You're the hunter, not just the pacifist.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Okay, that'll be my official one. I don't know. You decide what it is. But I will also say, I've always had this thing where, if I ever, because I think everyone does it, you know, you're like, ooh, is there someone in the shadows? Is there something there? Is there a monster? I've always, every time that I've done that, and I've been like, ooh, maybe there's something there, I take my covers off and then take my pants off, and I'm like, I'm naked, right? And it's like, now it's weird. Now it's weird if you're there. It makes me feel so much better. I don't even sometimes have to take my pants off because I'm just like, I got naked. It'd be weird for
You actually do have shadow monsters, but every time you just get naked immediately, and the thing in the shadows is like, oh, fuck. Why did he just get naked? What? This is so creepy now. People are going to think things about me that aren't true, okay? I'm just doing my job. How am I supposed to lurk in the shadows when I saw him take his underwear off? God.
I imagine this pre-established competition where, like, you know the monster's there and it knows you're there and it's, like, coming for you and it's finally, like, winning and you drop your pants. It's like, dude, you know it's not cool. I was winning. Come on. I had you this time and you know it.
I think it's like an evolution of imagine everyone in their underwear. Like, if you're being chased by Jason, do you think it would work? Or Freddy or something? You're like, wait.
No, Jason, maybe. Freddy, no, because he would just turn his head into your penis and, like, come up and, like, look at you or something, right? Because he doesn't
Of
shit.
course, yeah.
Yeah, Freddy's like a pervert.
I don't know. It's actually not a joke.
But, like, Michael Myers, he would just do, like, the head tilt. You drop your pants and Michael Myers wouldn't chase you anymore. You would just do the head tilt. You don't know Halloween, Michael Myers? Not like Austin Powers, Michael Myers. He might also do that.
Cat in the Hat, Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Got it.
Not like Austin Powers. Cat in the Hat, though.
Oh,
Okay.
Wayne's World.
Do you know that movie is the reason he was not in Hollywood for a while? Apparently, he was such a terror to work with on the set of Cat in the Hat that was the last feature film that he was booked for a substantial amount of time.
Really?
Apparently, he's a real diva, and there were some issues
Allegedly?
or something. This is all complete gossip. So yeah, allegedly, this is from like tabloid shit. But apparently, that's why Cat in the Hat was like one of the last things he ever did for quite a long time, until he was in the Queen movie as the angry Scottish man. Or was he Scottish? Irish? I don't know.
Allegedly, that's
I
interesting.
think it was Scottish. Allegedly, it's hilarious.
You both get a point, because I guess those are both good advices. Mark, you technically gave 2, so I guess I'm
With
going
the
to
bed
flip to
thing?
see if you get a bonus one. I like the trap with the hand underneath. That made me laugh.
Okay.
So.
No, that's fantastic. Because an under the bed monster would absolutely fall for a trap like that.
Yeah,
It's
waiting
the
for
right
the hand.
tone.
Yeah.
It is weird that we got heads, tails, tails, but that's how the coins flip, so.
What does that mean? What does it mean? Does it mean
It's just the
what
way the
do I
coins
get
have
a
flipped
point?
thus far.
No, do I
There's
get
no
a point?
impact on the next coin flip. But now I'm going to flip to see if Mark tied it up with his 2 answers, because they were both pretty funny. Get naked, I was not expecting.
Wait, I gave 2 advices. Just because you are biased against my first advice doesn't mean it's bad
I
advice.
gave you a bonus point last round. I'm giving Mark a chance this round. It's fine.
I don't think the getting naked one actually is good advice. But all right, I'll take it.
You don't anyway, because the coin flipped against you. So. Or wait, you have to call it, don't you? You didn't call it, did you?
Damn it, tails!
Oh. Well, yeah, I did get tails.
No, you have to flip it again, though.
Oh, I gotta flip it again? Okay.
Call it while it's in the air. It wasn't in the air.
Tails!
It's tails.
No, that's not a real coin. Real coins are 50-50. It's one
It
than the
is,
other
but
than
the
the other.
opposite gets points, so he still doesn't get a point. Remember, it's the opposite of what you call.
That's true. That's what you did for me. Fair.
Fair is fair.
Mark.
Fair is fair. Fair is fair.
Sorry, the coin. If it makes you feel any better, it was tails the first time too, so you would have lost both times.
Oh, so I didn't even screw you over. You just thought you were going to be screwed over.
To be fair, if we weren't doing opsies, you had it.
I get that. No, I get that. I get
Make
it.
it very clear.
Can we-
Your rule has screwed you.
Can we wait? Are we still gonna go opposite seas? Because I feel like if we switch opposite seas now, it'll still go against me somehow. But I feel if we stay opposite seas, it'll still go against me.
What you're saying is it's opsies, and you want to switch, which means you want to keep it opsies.
Opsies, like nutritionals, are going throughout this episode. We can't go back now. All right, our last topic. Good or bad advice, the ball is in your courts. On how to escape from a bank you just robbed. The robbing is done. Alarms are going off. Sirens outside.
First, can I just say it seems like we did a bad job robbing this bank.
Yeah, you shouldn't rob
Yeah.
a bank. That's probably the best advice. Don't rob a bank.
A good heist would have no alarms at the end.
It didn't
No
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
Okay, it didn't go well.
It didn't go well.
Okay. Are the cops like outside the door right now,
Or
is
they're
it
coming.
like they're on the way?
You
And
don't
we got 5
know.
minutes?
You've covered up the windows so they can't see in, but that also means you can't see out.
I would never run a heist where I had no info on the exterior of the bank.
Bad heist, man.
Is this person even worthy of our advice at this point? This is a rumbling
I think
burglar.
this is some mediocre wannabe gangster.
Give whatever advice you want.
I think the advice is get a good lawyer because you're fucked. Like, there's no way out of that.
Spend your last few minutes in the bank just calling up like, hi, Bishop Meiskins and Barnes, did I get a good attorney from you? Keep trying till you find somebody? Okay.
I think we should remove Barnes as a partner from this firm because he
Yes.
doesn't give any advice at all in this. So I feel like we're doing most of the work.
Like Meisker and Fishbach and
We have to
Meisker.
do it.
Maybe you should try winning, then you would know what it's like to not have to do the work.
I think the advice is to vote to remove the third and useless board member from the partnership and keep it a 50-50 split. That's my advice.
Wait, are we at the law firm now instead of the bank?
You made us at the law for us.
Are we voting right now, or?
That's the best advice we could give.
We? Collectively?
It
We're making
is.
a lot of assumptions here.
Your Honor, I'd like to approach the bench.
Your Honor, we don't know for a fact whether he's the one who speaks in riddles or speaks in rhymes. But of information.
You already ever heard of the ship of Theseus? Because this law firm might have been built with the three of us, but we've replaced over time. Is it still the same law firm?
All right, bank robbery gone wrong. The actual advice.
Or bad, it's up to you. You don't have to give good advice.
We're bad. Blow it up. Use the extra C4. You brought way too much C4 because you planned it properly. You covered up all the windows. They'll never see you sticking C4 on every surface. And then when they're just about to go, boom! Was that bad advice?
Probably, because
Probably.
money, so I'd say so.
So what do you just ride the explosion up into the air and then land on your feet?
I think
and
you
walk
die.
to the castle?
Yeah. Put on your explosion-proof boots and get ready. Like, dude, like in Minecraft, put a bunch of TNT underneath you and then you go straight
and then
up.
splat to the ceiling and die anyway.
Well, dig a hole first, duh.
Through the roof.
No, you put a TNT up there first because you're a few blocks away from it, so it'll blow up first and then you boom.
Of course.
You're on the phone with like the negotiators. You're just like, yeah, no, we did an airplane at the airport with parachutes inside. Just the roof blows off, and the negotiator's like, what was that? Nothing. This is how banks
Dave,
work.
Steve has a cold.
I could see that working.
Okay, that's my advice.
Blow it up.
Blow it up. What's your advice, Bob?
So, my advice would be, this is going to reach back far, okay? So this is more in the preparation stage. This is advice for next time.
Hey, reach back, reach around, do what you gotta do.
I would say when you're sitting there dreaming up the heist, what you're going to want to do is think more carefully about your target. Banks tend to have a lot of security, a lot of stuff. Vault, bars, guards.
Security cameras.
What's a much softer target and a way more profitable heist in general? Stealing all of the candy from all of the kids who are on the playground with their nannies in a rich neighborhood. Rich neighborhood is good at detail because it means they have big, they don't get fun-size bars, they get full-size candy bars, right? They get big candy, they get whatever.
That full
They get
size.
the fancy stuff.
Fancy smashy.
No dumb suckers over here, only real ones. Only Tootsie Pops, okay? And you forego the bank completely. Set up your kid candy heist. Way easier to get away with. You basically walk away from the scene scot-free because you will have so effectively distracted all of the adults that no one will even know what happened. It'll be like one of those things where they come back and they're like, where's all the candy? It must have been aliens. And that's it. Scot-free. Escape. Successful. No peril.
Okay.
No need for all the C4 explosions and all that. Much better plan in general. Kids are stupid, and you could definitely get all the candy from them so
So
easily.
police are about to breach the bank and arrest you, and you take someone by the shoulders and you give them this advice that's like a hostage, and then you go willingly knowing you've passed on better knowledge to the next heist.
Yeah, that one hostage who was like too attached to you, who was like willing to jump in and help. Where like, someone else is like plotting against you, is like, we're gonna get out of here. And then they won't have us hostages as leverage. We're gonna screw this. And the one hostage was just like, he's trying to escape. He's trying to plot an escape. This guy right here, this is the bank manager. You hadn't figured that out yet. He took his suit off so he doesn't look as official. This is the bank manager. I heard him talking. And this guy, you should make an example of him, probably. And you guys got an extra seat in your van or whatever? I don't know how you're getting away from this.
The over-enthusiastic hostage.
Yeah, well, there's always that.
Well, if you need to shoot somebody, I mean, my legs would work. I mean, you can shoot one of
Well,
mine.
they want to join in. They're finding targets for the heisters.
Gotcha.
They're not volunteer. They're like, I'm on your side, man. Let's take it to the man.
I don't know, that advice you give sounds like Guru Harold was in there with them. He was like, what you should have done was steal from kids, rich kids, in the neighborhood, no dum-dums. It was like,
Listen, it seems like this heist is poorly planned.
oh, you didn't do this right, not enough TNT.
I'm actually a guru. I've got great insight for you.
I was here to deposit my many checks for my advice.
For all my guruing. What's it called? It's called guruing.
Yeah.
It's not called guruing,
I'm
I
sad
don't
to
think.
say for our bank robbers, I don't think any of them are getting out with your guys' advice. It was maybe good advice in pre-sight, but none of them are getting out with the money.
Pre-sight.
Pre-sight was
Pre-sight?
2020, but they didn't listen. But thankfully, the coin flipped heads, so your bad advice both work out for you.
Thank you.
Now, our score currently sits Bob with 5 points, Mark with 4 points. I still have 1, because whatever, I did earlier.
Can I have your 1 point?
Can I?
Can I?
I deserve it,
Well, perhaps
it's
we'll
opposite
leave it up to the flip of a coin.
but I deserve it.
Then you get to call it, Bob. The coin is in the air.
Heads.
Dads!
Does that work? It has to be one of those, so I feel like that's an automatic win. Even in Opsy's land, I pretty much covered all bases there.
I don't fucking know, man. It was tails. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't care.
Alright. That's fair, I suppose.
Oh, Mark, you concede that Ted's means he wins. Alright,
Gotta get
Bob,
more
you
of the
get
AI
point.
in there, I just say. Teds!
Oh, with a much more dominating victory than it seemed like it should, then Bob wins 6-4.
That's fair.
And I lost a point at the end that I don't even remember how I earned, so all is right.
The thing is, I don't even know if I would have won or lost if I called the right one or the wrong one. I'm super unclear on how that would have played out, so...
If you called tails and it was tails, you would have lost, because we've been doing opsies.
What if I called heads and it was heads?
Then you lost. It was Opsies.
If it was heads, I win, tails, I lose.
Only if you called tails.
Yeah.
No, heads you win, tails I lose. That's not the joke. But it's opposite.
One of us speaks in riddles.
One speaks in rhymes.
One of us speaks in riddles, the other might have a little bit of dementia. Shit.
Did we say that?
It's not,
Jesus.
I mean, whatever. The other one might not speak so clearly. That's not funny.
You go up to that Sphinx and you're just like, oh, sorry, which one? You'll never know.
You go up and one of them's like, yeah, I'll never know. And the other one's like, where are we?
Is that a riddle? It's a question. Well, Bob, give us your victory speech. Congrats on winning.
Oh, I don't feel good about it suddenly. That's fine.
I wonder why.
I was pretty unclear as to how to win this on purpose, so I just did what I thought would be good advice, and it turns out that giving good advice is the best advice I could have given to myself before this episode. And I'm glad I did that. Thanks, me. You're welcome.
Mark, you've lost yet again.
Yeah, I've been on a bit of a losing streak. I know I'm like, 16 wins down after that, but I'm going to climb back up after this. Weirdly enough, I think this was Wade's fairest judgment thus far, even though it's completely random and opsies. I'll get him next time. Just keep TNT in your pocket for any time you find yourself on the bad end of a bank heist. And get naked when you're afraid.
God.
I feel like that was excellent advice. When would that not work?
Y'all made me laugh
All
at
the
like the
time.
most unexpected times in this one. There were times I was like, man, this is gonna be a funny one, and like you guys just moments I was like, okay, it's gonna be pretty chill, and then just move the sheets, drop my drawers, and then the Teds. It was pretty good. Well done.
Alright, well, thank you.
Thank you guys for listening and watching. Now this is our second time with the video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm a bit under the weather. Hopefully next
It's
time I'll
okay.
feeling
Feel better though.
No rhyme intended, but one of us speaks in riddles and ones and rhymes and all that. You can find us at our respective places. Mark Markiplier, Bob at Meisker. I'm Wade, Minion777, or Minion777, because I'm complicated. We have merch stored at distractablepodcast.com. You can get stuff there. And I guess, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one when Bob posts something. Until then, podcast out.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you.
Okay. The episode's over. I do not need to listen to Carvana right now. We're legit almost done with this, so I'm gonna talk while I'm finishing this. That was fucking hilarious. The fucking Teds got me. It got me so. The Teds. Oh my god. None of that was at all good advice. Or I don't even think I would call that advice. That was just terrible everything, you know? But yeah, I don't know what to think about it anymore. But I'll try to sync up the what's it called? The video with the audio. It's been a while since I did that, syncing stuff up, but we'll see. We'll see how I do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was hilarious, as always. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out my Last of Us finale, because I think I cried a lot during that. I did get Mom's perspective on the whole thing. And she did say that, medically speaking, what Marlene was saying is not technically possible unless the cordyceps would be like a living organism outside of the body, which is just a bunch of medical mumbo jumbo that I don't understand, but she understands it way more better than I do. So yeah, but yeah, I honestly don't understand it. I honestly don't. But she said that basically that can all happen. But she's also like kind of confused on why Ellie's like so surprised that she did not believe Joel, and I had explained to her the whole like thing. But I think she understands now, or I hope she understands. But she did legit genuinely love the series as a whole, despite its like, you know, flaws of like, you know, it should have been her discussion, like sit down, talk to Joel and Ellie about the surgery before doing anything drastic, you know? And like that's what I call medical malpractice. Because if you guys don't know, I follow the show A Good Doctor on my own time. I don't react to it. By the time I was doing reactions to movies and TV shows, I was like already into the show way too deeply to like record it every day or every Monday. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna. I'll just, if I want to talk about it, I'll talk about it during something else. So this seems like a good time to talk about it. But in the recent episode, Sean gets sued by someone, I don't know who, for doing malpractice. And if anyone deserves malpractice is someone's dad that got shot, the doctor, you know? That guy deserves malpractice because they didn't discuss with Ellie the surgery or to Joel at all, which sucked for both parties. Because I swear, if Marlene and the doctor sat down with Joel and Ellie and talk about, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take everything out of your brain to make a cure. Do we have your permission to do so? Ellie would probably say yes and tell Joel that she's ready and he doesn't need to protect her anymore. And that, like, she's been waiting for this for legit her whole life. So, you know, that would have been amazing. But, you know what? That didn't happen. It looks like we still have a bit to do. You can't see it because of the angle, but, like, we're missing a piece here. But, like, that should be easy and fast and probably won't need a whole episode to build it. So I'll build it on my own and place it where I want to place it and show everybody. And if you want to see this whole thing done and finish, you can check out my Instagram where I'll post pictures of my newest Lego collection. So yeah, make sure to check that out if you want to see how this ends. But it's gonna probably end just this, and that's probably it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was funny as all hell, like most of Wade's episode is. I don't know what's with him, but every time he makes a banger video once in a while. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's hilarious, and it's always a flip of a coin. Yes, I made that joke in my head. Yes, I did. But I'll see you guys later. This is M.A.D.D.Y, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.